I'm Lucy Alexander with AIChE, and I'm here with Tim Kruger from the University of Oxford. Tim, you gave a talk about carbon dioxide irrigation yesterday. Can you explain what this is about?
Sure. So we're looking at a process that reduces the amount of water that plants need to grow. So currently they need about 1,000 tons of water for every ton of water, ton of biomass that they produce. What we're looking at is a system where you have essentially a greenhouse into which you pump a higher level of CO2, so 10% CO2 or something like that, rather than the 400 parts per million that usually goes into a greenhouse. By doing this, you reduce the amount of gas that flows through the greenhouse, and because of that, less moisture is lost. And we've done some research on this, and increasing the amount of CO2 in the greenhouse boosts productivity. That's a well-known effect known as CO2 fertilization. But by supplying the carbon dioxide at high concentration, you reduce the amount of gas turnover within the greenhouse, and that reduces the amount of moisture lost. And we've shown in a series of experiments that you can reduce the amount of water that you need from 1,000 to 1 to just 1 to 1.
And so you're creating a carbon dioxide sink, and at the same time saving up to 1,000 times the water use. You know, this seems very obvious and almost intuitive. Why haven't other people done this?
I'm not entirely sure why other people have done this. I think the problem is that we see a problem where plants need water, and that's obvious, so we give them water. But the fact is that the plants give away the water in order to obtain carbon dioxide. If you give them the carbon dioxide, they don't need nearly as much water. So it's really just about kind of reframing the problem. And yeah, we haven't found people doing this before. I mean, there are some problems. If you reduce the amount of gas flowing through the greenhouse, humidity increases. And certainly for terrestrial plants, that could be a problem. But for things like algae, it's not a problem at all.
Okay, and what kind of role do you see this technology playing in the CCUS discussion?
Not sure yet. I think it could be a way of increasing the amount of land area that could be used to grow crops. As you say, it is a sink for carbon. But you need a high purity CO2. It doesn't need to be 100% pure, but you need about 5%, 10%, something like that. And there are other processes that people are developing that can supply CO2 at 5 or 10%, not just from the flue gases of power stations, but some of the air capture methods provide CO2 at that concentration. So it could work well with those. But the amount of CO2 that you can draw down growing algae or other such organisms may be significant, it may not, we don't know at this point.
Okay. And do you envision this having an agricultural use?
So potentially, yes. I mean, you could grow algae or these organisms that grow in water surface dwelling macrophytes using this system, and that could be used directly as food for humans, or it could be animal feed. What it does, this process, by reducing the amount of water that is needed, is it increases the area of land which can actually provide food and fuel and fibre. And so that's to the benefit. Now, there's a lot more work to be done, so it's not a silver bullet, but we need to understand it a bit more.
Okay, thank you very much, Tim Kruger.
No problem.